Halayimla, Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Rachak Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone who taught me this 100% truth, who still rule and teach well. Peace, blessings, and mercy to the Lord's elect, scattered throughout the four corners of the planet Earth, pushing this word in humility and sincerity, as commanded by Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai. The title of this lesson, just something real quick, the heavenly slave trade. Okay, and that may sound like an oxymoron because the world has been taught a false perception of what the kingdom of heaven will be. Okay, contrary to popular belief, the Lord endorses slavery. Okay, the Lord endorses one nation ruling over all other nations. And when you look at the course of history, that's exactly what has been taking place. Whether it was the Persians and the Medes, whether it was the Egyptians, whether it was now modern day the so-called white men, which is the Edomites, the Lord have always had one nation rule over all the other nations because it was their appointed time to rule. And the Lord gave that opportunity to all nations. All right, he gave that opportunity to all nations for them to have dominion over the earth. It's Ecclesiastes 9 and 11. It says, I returned and saw under the sun that the race is not to the swift, nor the battle to the strong, neither yet bread to the wise, nor yet riches to men of understanding, nor yet favor to men of skill, but time and chance happeneth to them all. So the Lord gave an appointed time, an appointed chance to every nation on the planet Earth to rule, regardless of their strength, regardless of their skill, regardless of how they might be, their genetic makeup physically. None of that matters. The Lord is the one who sets up, and the Lord is the one who puts down. Let's get that scripture. Psalm 78. Let me see. Psalm 75. Psalm 75 and verse 6, it says, For promotion cometh neither from the east, nor from the west, nor from the south. But Yahweh, or Elohim, the word there is God, which in the Hebrew is Elohim, which means powers, referring to the Heavenly Father's angels who minister for him to perform his will on the planet Earth. Psalm 75, verse 7, it says, But Elohim is the judge. He putteth down one and setteth up another. And like I said, throughout the course of history, that is what's been taking place. Okay. And when the Lord set up the so-called white man, which, if I may say, is the lowest caliber man on the planet Earth. When the Lord set up this man, what happened to the Israelites? They were put down. They were put down. Let me first get Daniel 4 and 20. Let me see. Daniel 4 and 17. It says, This matter is by the decree of the watchers. The decree of the watchers is the angels. So this is the decree that the Lord gave to the angels. Once again, the Elohim. It says, This matter is by the decree of the watchers and the demand by the word of the holy ones, to the intent that the living may know that the Most High ruleth in the kingdom of men, and giveth it to whomsoever he will. So the kingdom represents the planet Earth. Okay? When the Lord speaks about the kingdom, it's talking about the dominion over the earth. Okay? Men having dominion over the earth. King's domain, kingdom. It says, or king's dominance. Daniel 4:17, This matters by the decree of the watchers and the demand by the word of the holy ones, to the intent that the living may know that the Most High ruleth in the kingdom of men, and giveth it to whomsoever he will, and setteth up over it the bases of men. So again, the Lord, when he set up the so-called white man, he set up the lowest caliber man, okay, to show his power. Because it's true, the white man was in caves. It's true, he was walking on fours and barely knew how to speak and wash his ass. That's all true. But the Lord raised him up. And when he raised him up, they put us down. The Lord had the lowest caliber man that he's ever created put down the strongest caliber man. Gods, as the scriptures call us, gods were put down by servants and slaves, men who likened unto like beast. Okay? Daniel 7. So when the Lord raised up this man, he put us down and he put us in slavery. Because the Lord is with slavery. He's with it as a punishment. He's with it as a reward for his people. And that's the spirit, because slavery for us it was a punishment, but it's also promised as a reward. You get that in Psalms. So the Lord can have something, and that's the duality or the balance of Yahweh Shem Shai, that he can have something that will be used against us as a punishment, but then that very same thing will be granted to us as a reward. Psalms chapter 2 and verse 8, it says, "Ask of me, and I will give thee the heathen for thine inheritance, and the uttermost parts of the earth for thy possession." So the Lord, and it's talking about their lands. Okay, we're going to acquire the lands of the heathen and the uttermost parts of the earth for our possession. Even the islands where no man inhabited, everything will be ours. That's the reward. And the Lord's going to give that to his son, as it says here in Psalms 2. But if we go to Revelation 2, Yahweh Shai was given those things, and Yahweh Shai said he's going to give it to his men. He's going to share it with his men. We're going to be joint heirs, as it says in Romans, the 8th chapter. So what Yahweh Shai received of his father, the elect is going to receive of Yahweh Shai, because we're going to be joint heirs. And that's the reward for laying down our life for Yahweh Shai. Yahweh Shai laid down his life for us. We lay down our life for Yahweh Shai. Yahweh Shai gives us the reward that he received of his father. It says here in Revelation chapter 2, verse 26, I'll start at 25. It says, "But that which ye have already hold fast till I come." Right, what do we have? We have this doctrine. We have this 100% truth. Okay, we have the scriptures. It has to be in you and not on you. And we have it. So we have to hold on to it until the end, endure unto the end. He that have endureth unto the end, the same shall be saved. The same shall be crowned. It says in Revelation 2 and 26 now, it says, "And he that overcometh and keepeth my works unto the end," right? Endure, the word endure has the first three letters is E-N-D, end. Because you gotta go all the way into the end with it. If you don't go into the end with it, then you didn't endure. Okay? It says, "And he that overcometh and keepeth my works unto the end, to him will I give power over the nations. And he shall rule them with a rod of iron, as the vessels of a potter shall they be broken to shivers, even as I have received of my father." You see? So what Yahweh Shai received of his father in Psalms, the 2nd chapter, he gave that very same power. He's giving that very same power to his elect. That's cold. Let's go to this word power. I'll show you something.
Strong's G, 1849, exousia. Exousia.
The word is exousia, which pretty much means power to do anything in righteousness. Anything you could imagine in righteousness, you're going to have the power to do it. It says power of choice, liberty of doing as one pleases, leave or permission, physical and mental power. So we're going to have mental power over these people, man. The power to read minds, the power to put thoughts in minds, the power to take thoughts out of minds. Whatever we want to do, we're going to have power to do it in righteousness. It says the ability or strength which one is endued. Yeah, when you're endued with power, meaning it was given to you. And funny thing about the word endued, it has E-N-D as the first three letters. Those that endure unto the end are going to be endued with power. It's all about remaining unto the end. Okay, it says the power of authority, influence, and of right privilege, right? The power of rule or government, the power of him whose will and commands must be submitted to by others and obeyed. Damn. So everybody, the same way the world's gonna bow, every knee's gonna bow to Yahweh Shai. After everybody bows to Yahweh Shai, the world is also gonna bow to the elect. And when I say world, I mean everybody that's not an Israelite. Everybody that's not an Israelite will obey and submit to the will of the Israelites for eternity, man. That's the power that we're going to have over these nations. It says universal authority over mankind, the power of judicial decisions, of authority to manage domestic affairs. It says, let's see, one who possesses authority. Now, if we go down here to the Strong's definition, it says force, capacity, competency, freedom, mastery. It says magistrate. It says superhuman. Superhuman. So we're going to receive superhuman like power, man. We're going to be Superman and super women and super children and super babies. Okay? And this is why they want to stop this word from coming out, because of what it's going to turn us into, what we're going to transform into, the elect first and foremost through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. So when the Lord set these Edomites up, they put the Israelites down. Okay? Through what? Through slavery. Daniel 7:25, it says, and he shall speak great words against the Most High, and shall wear out the saints of the Most High. He beat our heritage out of us. He wore us out so much that he beat our language, our customs. He wore us out so much that we forgot who the fuck we was. How do you wear somebody out so much that they so tired and they so beat down that they actually forget who they are? That's what this man did. And that was a punishment. And in the process, this nigga forgot who he was. He forgot he was an Edomite. You ain't white. You ain't Ish. You an Edomite. It's an Edomite. Daniel 7:25, and he shall speak great words against the Most High, and shall wear out the saints of the Most High, and think to change times and laws, and they shall be given into his hand until a time and times and a dividing of times. So that's what he did. And that's what he got. He got the power for a time and times and dividing of times. And with that power, he's put the whole world in captivity. He's put the creation in captivity. He's put the air and the water in captivity. He sells you the planet back at a price. He sells the planet to you at a price. You want to buy wood, it's going to cost this much. You want to buy water, it's going to cost this much. You want clean air, we need tax dollars. This nigga is a devil. And so by him putting us down via slavery, by him wearing us out, what do you think the Lord is going to do for us? We already read that the reward is to have the heathens as an inheritance. And we going to beat their ass like a potter's vessel. How you think we're going to do that? We going to mentally beat them up? We going to call them names all day? No, we're going to actually physically take them, and we're going to do unto them as they have done unto us. And that's it's going to be a heavenly slave trade. Because it's going to be a slave trade in the kingdom of heaven. Obadiah 1:15. It says, for the day of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, is near upon all the heathen. Why is it saying the heathen? Because the heathen are the ones that conquered the nation of Israel collectively. Starting with the Edomites first and foremost. The nation of Edom, Adawam. Starting with Adawam first and foremost. Then you had Ishmael. Then you had Amalek, which is the Ish people. These nations collectively conquered Jerusalem. Let me get a precept. All right, this is First Maccabees 2:10. It says, "What nation have not had a part in her kingdom and gotten of her spoils?" So all nations have had a part in our kingdom, meaning of destroying it, and stolen of our treasures and our spoils. Every nation on the planet Earth has spoiled us. When the elect come down from the chariots to conquer the earth, we're gonna go to all these other nations and we're gonna get all our treasures back, because the Chinese got some stuff of ours. The Japanese got some stuff of ours. The so-called white man, we know he got a lot of our treasures. The Ishmaelites got a lot of our treasures. We're going to go to all these nations. The Canaanites got some treasures. We're going to go to all these nations, and we're going to put them down, but we're going to take our shit back. Baruch 2 verse 4, "Moreover, he have delivered them to be in subjection to all the kingdoms that are round about us, to be as a reproach and a desolation among the people round about, where the Lord hath scattered them." That's what happened to us. We were scattered into all these kingdoms round about, and all these kingdoms got of our spoils. Verse 5, "Thus we were cast down and not exalted, because we have sinned against the Lord our power, and have not been obedient unto his voice." So that was our punishment. But our reward is going to be the complete and utter opposite. The nations are going to go through that. The nations are going to go through that scattering, that slave trade. First and foremost, starting with the nation of Edom. Joel 3. And I'm going to start at verse 2. It says, "I will also gather all nations and will bring them down into the valley of Yahweh-Shaphat, and will plead with them there for my people and for my heritage Israel, whom they have scattered among the nations and parted my land." Right? We've been reading that. Verse 3. "And they have cast lots for my people." Right. So they sold us. Now, when was the Ish people sold? When would the Ish people put on auction blocks with yokes of iron around their neck, just hopping off of a slave ship? When did that happen to them? When were they scattered across the four corners of the earth unwillingly? I don't recall. Joel 3:3, it says, "And they have cast lots for my people, and have given a boy for an harlot, and sold a girl for wine, that they might drink." Yeah, they used men as sex objects when we got off the boats over here. Buck breaking. Okay? Buck breaking. Look that up. It says, and sold a girl for wine, that they might drink. Yeah, and what have ye to do with me, O Tyre and Zidon, and all the coast of Palestine? Will ye render me a recompense? And if ye recompense me, swiftly and speedily will I return your recompense upon your own head. You see? So these nations, in taking us down, it was like they were pretty much trying to flick off the Lord. It was kind of like a FU to Yahweh Shemel Shah. Because they are the enemies of Yahweh Shemel Shah. When you read Psalms 83, it tells you that they are the enemies of the Lord. And so in taking us down, it was like them paying back the Lord. Like they're getting revenge on the Lord for taking down his people. But the Lord said, when you do that swiftly and speedily, is he going to return your recompense upon your own head? And what does he mean by that? Obadiah the 15th verse, we read it. "As thou hast done, it shall be done unto you," man. Verse 5. And what have they done? We're going to read it right now. Let's see what they did. Joel 3:5. "Because ye have taken my silver and my gold, and carried into your temples my goodly pleasant things." Right? Remember, the Lord said in Isaiah the 13th chapter that he will make a man more precious than fine gold. Those men that he's referring to is the elect. Okay? The Lord also calls the nation of Israel his jewels. He said, "When I make up my jewels," talking about the elect. So yeah, it's talking about physical gold and silver, but it's also talking about his people, his men. You took some of the elect and you whipped their backs. You took some of the elect and you threw them overboard to be eaten by sharks. You took some of the elect and you lynched them and you kept them on trees for months, called it strange fruit. You took the elect and you did that, man. It says in verse 5, "Because ye have taken my silver and my gold, and have carried into your temples my goodly pleasant things. The children also of Judah and the children of Jerusalem have ye sold unto the Grecians, that ye might remove them far from their borders." This is talking about you so-called Africans, the nation of Tyre and Zidon, Canaanites, Philistines, our enemies. You heathen. You sold us unto the Grecians, so-called white man, right? it says that ye may remove them far from their border. So the true Israelites are far from their border right now. As it says in Luke 21, Jerusalem shall be trodden down of the Gentiles until the time of the Gentiles be fulfilled. Verse 7, behold, I will raise them out of the place whither ye have sold them, and will return your recompense upon your own head. And I will sell your sons and your daughters into the hands of the children of Judah, and they shall sell them to the Sabines, to a people far off, for Yahweh by Shema Shah has spoken it. So that's plain. We're going to sell your sons, we're going to sell your daughters, and we're going to do it with a smile on our face. Why? Because you did it to us. The Lord is a just power. The Lord said, Proverbs chapter 11, verse 1, a false balance is an abomination to the Lord, but a just weight is his delight. So the Lord is going to break even. He going to bring it all back into balance. And right now, we have an injustice that's been done against us that has not been paid for. That's a false balance. There's a false balance in the earth, but the Lord is going to bring justice. Jeremiah 30:16, it says, therefore all they that devour thee shall be devoured, and all thine adversaries, every one of them, shall go into captivity. And they that spoil thee shall be a spoil, and all that prey upon thee will I give for a prey. So that's plain. The Lord is going to allow us to get revenge, recompense. Okay? Recompense. Salakia. Second Thessalonians chapter 1 and verse 6, it says, seeing it is a righteous thing with God, or Alahayim, it is a righteous thing with the Lord, to recompense tribulation to them that trouble you. The word recompense means payback. Prefix re meaning back, and compense means to pay. So yeah, the Lord does believe in payback. Well, vengeance is God. You're right. Vengeance does belong to the Lord. And when he sent his son, that's exactly what he coming to do. He's coming to bring recompense. It ain't nothing that you could do on this earth that's gonna stop Yahweh Shai from cracking them clouds and coming and delivering his elect and destroying your world. Nothing. There's nothing that you could do from stopping yourself from going into slavery when he get back. Cause that's what he coming to do when he get back. Let me read it. 2 Ezra 13. I'm not gonna read the whole chapter, but if you start from verse 1, it's talking about Yahweh Shai coming in the fathership, how massive it is, and how the other nations are fighting in wars, and they stopped from fighting in World War III, and they turned to fight against Yahweh Shai. Okay? Now if I go to the end of the vision, 2 Ezra 13, I'm going to start at 10. It says, but only I saw that he sent out of his mouth, meaning out of the chariot, as it had been a blast of fire, and out of his lips a flaming breath, and out of his tongue he cast out sparks and tempests, like different fires and concentrated heat and laser beams going to be shooting from the chariot, which the world ignorantly calls UFOs. Verse 11, and they were all mixed together, the blast of fire, the flaming breath, and the great tempest, and fell with violence upon the multitude. That's the multitude is referring to the nations gathered together to fight against Yahweh Shai in battle. It says, and fell with violence upon the multitude, just like you see in the movies, where you got the quote unquote alien invasion, and all the nations come together for mankind and humanity to fight against this intruder. They do that as a form of predictive programming because they already know that's written in. They know that's written in the scriptures. That's how they got the idea for the movie. But they do these things to program the people so that when they do see the chariots, they don't look at them as, a means of salvation, but as an enemy. 2 Ezra 13 and 11, and they were all mixed together, the blast of fire, the flaming breath, and the great tempest, and fell with violence upon the multitude, which was prepared to fight, and burnt them up every one, so that upon a sudden of an innumerable multitude nothing was to be perceived, but only dust and smell of smoke. It says, let me keep reading. It says, when I saw this, I was afraid. Afterward, I saw the same man come down from the mountain, Yahushua, and called unto him an other peaceable multitude. And there came much people unto him, whereof some were glad, some were sorry, some of them were bound. Bound, what do you mean by bound? Meaning in chains. So Yahushua gonna gather all people unto him, and some gonna be happy, the elect, some gonna be sorry. You know, the Israelites around the earth that rejected us, that they didn't believe us. It says some of them, and some of the heathen, some of them were bound, you Edomites. It says, and others some brought of them that were offered. Then was I sick through great fear, and I awaked and said. So, hey, when Ezra saw that vision, he was afraid. He was afraid because he just can't see Yahushua come back, destroy the planet, destroy half of the planet, you know, the Western Hemisphere. And then there were people that was happy. There were people that were sad. There were people that were in chains. And that's what the Lord's coming to do. He's coming to initiate a heavenly slave trade so that the kingdom of heaven can be built up. Isaiah 45:14 says, thus saith Yahweh, the labor of Egypt and the merchandise of Ethiopia and of the Sabines, men of stature, shall come over unto thee, and they shall be thine. They shall come after thee. In chains they shall come over, and they shall fall down unto thee. They shall make supplication unto thee, saying, surely God is in thee, and there is none else. There is no God. So these nations, they're going to be so fearful. They're going to be in so much of a submissive and subjective state that they're going to already be in chains. They're going to come over to us in chains. We ain't going to have to put the chains on them. They're going to put themselves in chains, and they're going to come to us, and they're going to bow down, and they're going to say, surely Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua is in thee. There is no other God but Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua. Ain't going to be no Dagon in that day. Ain't going to be no Baphomet in that day. Ain't going to be no Buddha, no Allah, Yahushua, Yeshua. Everybody's going to acknowledge Yahweh and his son, Yahushua. That's it. And like I said, the Lord's coming to initiate that slave trade, not for nothing. We ain't just going to have them on boats for 8 years and watch them rot. They're going to get off them boats and they're going to build up the kingdom of heaven. Just like we built up this society. Isaiah 60:10. The sons of strangers shall build up thy walls. Their kings shall minister unto thee. All right, so they're gonna build up our walls. They're gonna build up our buildings. They're gonna build up, and plant our vineyards and things of that nature. And the kings and the most noble of them, they're gonna get the worst jobs, and some of them are gonna be actually our servants. Okay. It says, and their king shall minister unto thee, for in my wrath I smote thee, but in my favor have I had mercy on thee. See, and the Lord will have mercy on Jacob and will yet choose Israel, as it says in Isaiah the 14th chapter. No other nation is going to receive this dominion and this reward. It's going to be Israel. It says, therefore thy gates shall be open continually, that it says they shall not be shut day nor night, that men may bring unto thee the forces of the Gentiles, and that their kings may be brought. Yeah, and how are their kings going to be brought? It said the forces of the Gentiles, that's talking about their natural resources. But it said that their kings may be brought. So our gates going to be open continually day and night, because we're going to be having slaves coming in. Slaves going to be getting imported. Psalms 149, verse 6, it says, let the high praises of the Most High be in their mouth, and a two-edged sword in their hand. That's talking about the elect. They're going to be equipped. Okay? It says 7, to execute vengeance upon the heathen. Vengeance belongs to God. Yeah, vengeance belongs to God, and he going to give the vengeance to his elect. You think the Lord going to hop off his throne? And no, the Lord didn't hop off his throne when we went into slavery. So he not going to hop off his throne when we put y'all in slavery. We going to be the ones to do it. He said, I will lay vengeance upon Edom by the hand of my people Israel, in Ezekiel the 25th chapter. That's how it's going down. We know you wish it was I mean, either way, it said that we're gonna do according to the Lord's anger and the Lord's jealousy when we get our hands on you, man. So it don't matter if the Lord did it to you or if we did it to you. You still going to feel the same type of pain. Psalms 149 verse 7. To execute vengeance upon the heathen and punishments upon the people. To bind their kings in chains. To bind their kings with chains, Salakia, and their nobles with fetters of iron. So that's how their kings are going to come over. And that's how their kings are going to be brought, as it says in Isaiah 60. They're gonna come over in chains. Nobody's gonna be walking around free. When you got a dog or you got a pet, you keep the pet on a leash. You keep the pet bound and restrained for its entire life, unless that pet is loyal, super trained, which none of you heathen gonna be on that level for the first 1,000 years. Y'all are gonna be kept in a restricted areas. Your movements will be limited, especially you Edomites. Psalms 149 verse 9, it says, to execute upon them the judgment written, this honor have all his saints. Praise ye Yahweh Shem Yahushua. So that's what's going down. That's how the Lord's going to initiate the slave trade, the heavenly slave trade, which is going to consist of all you heathen nations that enslaved us. A little bit more here, Isaiah 60 and 11. Therefore thy gates shall be open continually, they shall not be shut day nor night, that men may bring unto thee the forces of the Gentiles, that their kings may be brought. Right, forces referring to, like I said, the natural resources, anything that is of value that they have. That includes women, okay, that includes children, that includes gold, silver, copper, palladium, whatever, oil. It says in verse 12, for the nation and kingdom that will not serve thee shall perish. Yeah, those nations shall be utterly wasted. They ain't going to stand a chance. That's why we read in Isaiah 45, they're going to come in chains. They're going to arrive in chains. You know what I'm saying? Some of these people, we ain't even going to have to put chains on them. They're going to put the chains on themselves. They're going to put the chains on each other. Maybe if we already have chains on, they'll show mercy. Isaiah 60 and 13, the glory of Lebanon shall come unto thee, the fir tree, the pine tree, the box together, to beautify the place of my sanctuary, and I will make the place of my feet glorious. Where's the place of the Lord's feet? The planet Earth. He said, heaven is my throne, and the earth is my footstool. The Lord's going to beautify this planet Earth, but in order to do it, he got to put you nations into slavery, because y'all going to build it up. That's how it's going down. Revelation 13, verse 9. If any man have an ear, let him hear. He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. Here is the patience and the faith of the saints. So transatlantic slave trade, sub-Saharan slave trade, Silk Road slave trade. Who built the Taj Mahal? Who built the Great Wall of China? Slaves. What do you think them slaves was? Israelites. Israelites, man. Who you think built up the United Kingdom? France, Italy, Rome, Alexandria, Greece, Alexandria, Egypt. Who you think built up these cities? United States of America, Canada. We built all these things, man, through slavery, through bondage, through captivity. So again, all you nations, you're going to take part in a heavenly slave trade. You wanted to be in the kingdom of heaven? You want the kingdom of heaven? It's coming. And you're going to build up the kingdom of heaven for 1,000 years. And after 1,000 years, you're going to get mercy, man. You're going to live a good life. Trust me. Especially compared to this life, you're going to live a good life. But first, you got to build up our kingdom. And you Edomites, you got to suffer the worst bondage in human history. And then you Edomites, you have to be exterminated off the face of the earth because nobody wants you around. We're not going to tolerate your nation being around and look at your pale skin anymore. So Lord, with this edifying, giving all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushua, Ba'ashem, Rachak Kodash. Double honor to the apostles and elders of the great millstone will still rule and teach well. Peace, blessings, safety to the Lord's elect. Kwam Yasharallah.